Hello, everyone. So happy Friday. I'm excited to be with you today. My name is Amy Brooks, and I teach English here, and we started the Scorpion Speaker Series a few years ago. This was such a popular one last time that when people saw John Wesley was coming back, they asked if they could come, and more people kept asking. So we said, let's move it to the auditorium, make it a little bit longer, and have it stretch between two different lunch blocks. So after this, you'll get to go eat and go back to class. But for right now, we're going to spend A and B lunch together, learning a little bit more about our guest speaker. So first off, whenever we have guests in our building, we want to give them our undivided attention. You can sit back, relax, take a break from your phones, put them away, get your earbuds, and just enjoy. This is one of the few assemblies we might get this year because of Omicron and other interruptions to our group gatherings. Just an FYI, when performers are on stage, the new Howard County rule is they can use their masks just to record. I'm not taking mine off, but we need to keep yours on even if our performers take theirs off. Secondly, this is live right now, so we're going to have cameras set up here, but I don't think we should want to do too much. And finally, when we dismiss, I'll remind you again, we'll exit out the back because a whole new group of people is going to come in and help for us. So let's talk a little bit about the Scorpion Speaker Series. This is the way we really connect with our community, and the saying we always have is, you don't have to look far to find excellence in Oakland Mills. And while John Milton Wesley has a very acclaimed background, which I'll tell you about in a second, he actually lives right down the street, and he's joining us as a community member. And I want you to always keep in mind that we have so many wonderful people that are really close by. It's important for you to connect with them because you're going to go out in the world soon, and connections are really very important to being successful in life. So let me tell you about John Milton Wesley. He was a 1970 graduate of Tougaloo College. He's a singer-songwriter and a published author, both prose and poetry. His work has appeared in 9 English, Arabic, and Spanish anthologies. He began his writing career in native Mississippi under the tutelage of Dr. Naomi Townsend at Tougaloo. Dr. Margaret Walker Alexander mentored him. She's the author of Jubilee. And also poets you might know like Audre Lorde, Ted Jones, and author John Oliver Killen, and Dr. Jerry Ward. He is a composer, and all of his music is original. He's also the godson of civil rights activist Fannie Lou Hamer. She and Wesley's grandmother, Sarah Sanders, worked in the same wealthy Jewish family. Sanders was known as the nanny and Hamer as the cook. He moved to Jackson, Mississippi on June 12, 1963, when Medgar Evers, a family friend, was murdered in his driveway. Wesley would later graduate from Jim Hill High School and attend Tougaloo College on a full vocal music scholarship. While at Tougaloo, Wesley was encouraged by his college advisor, Dr. Naomi Townsend, and in 1968 he entered the United Negro College Fund Reader's Digest Poetry Contest and won first place. That same year he performed with the Tougaloo College Concert Choir at Carnegie Hall with Duke Ellington and his orchestra. And on April 4th, in 1968, the night Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was murdered in Memphis. His writing, both prose and poetry, has since appeared in the Washington Post, Essence Magazine, the Baltimore Sun, the Afro-American newspaper, GR Tactics, American Legacy Magazine. He's appeared on NBC, Fox, CBS, CNN, BET, and internationally his work has been featured in the Xinhua Network in China, in the Stavanger Aftenblad newspaper in Norway, British Telegraph, French TV3, National Public Radio, or NPR, All Things Considered. He is also an accomplished jazz music artist with music in the public domain in 7 countries. And he lives in Columbia, Maryland. He currently serves as the Public Information Officer for the Baltimore City Office of Equity and Civil Rights. And now that we know a little bit more about John Milton Wesley, I hope you give him a very big welcome applause.
Thank you. It's great to be back here at Oakland Mills High School with you. Yay! I hope you see that I wore your colors. Thank you so much. I'm so excited about being here with you, and I tell you what, I'm going to start off with one of my secular songs and do that. And then I'm going to introduce you to a special guest. Tell me, why do you doubt what your ancestors did? The door has been opened for you to walk through, and you don't have to beg, and you don't have to plead. But one thing for sure, you gotta believe that it's gone. Believe it's all there's nothing too big, nothing that's too small. I am just waiting just to answer your call. Now there is no secrets to having your dreams come true. First you believe it, and then you let go, 'cause it's already done. And it's already done. Already done. I did before you ran. I did. You better believe it's already done. Won't you bring all your cares, all your fears and all your woes, all your dark secrets, all your highs and all your lows. Ask for forgiveness and you're gonna feel the rush of grace, and the joy in your heart, put a smile on your face, 'cause it's all already done. Believe that it's already done. Already done. I did before you ran. I did. You gotta believe it's already done. I have to tell you the story of why I wrote that song. I had done a book in 2004. The title of the book is The Brighter Side of Darkness. How many of you heard of Brown versus the Board of Education? All right, okay. Brown versus Education, that was the landmark desegregation case of the schools. And one of the plaintiffs in that was Mr. Brown. And I did this book in 2004 with his daughter, Carolyn. And the title of the book is The Brighter Side of Darkness. It was edited by a sister named Falani Salahuddin, who now works at the African American History Museum in Washington. But anyway, I was going home to Mississippi to the school that I attended, and I was going to read from the book. And keep in mind, I'm going to read from the book. And when I was at the school, all of the kids were black. But I go back to read from this book about desegregation, and the audience is integrated. And I wanted to do a song that said to them, do you know who you are? Okay, and basically that's what it's already done is about. Over the year, I'll come back and I'll do some poetry with you. But so much of my life has happened as a result of me believing before I got started. Okay, I didn't always have a Bose sound system and 2 keyboards and all of this stuff. I started in my basement on Thunder Hill Road with a karaoke machine, a Casio piano, a coat hanger around my neck with a little microphone on it. Okay? That's how I started. And I had one song, one chord. One song and one chord. I could play only in the key of C. Okay? Okay? That's all I had. But anyway, but I believe I continued to work with the one song that I had. And then I had 2 songs. Then I had 3 songs. Then I had 4 songs. Okay. I'll stop it there. And then now I want to take this opportunity to introduce a very smart lady that I met the last time that I was here. And I sent out an invitation to any of you who may have wanted to do something with me. And it turns out that Miss Nicole Brown Fordham is going to do a poem for us, and I will provide the musical accompaniment. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Nicole Brown Fordham.
The protester, the poet asks you doesn't check the hate you give, because feeds the fire within, so the fire next time happens. And the year of death makes sense to go tell Michelle that I might not have dreams of my father because I'm one of the lost daughters, searching for a destiny, a knowledge of the people. They came before Columbus, standing from the beginning on a foreign soul, forced to be unhappily categorized in history as property. Black girls must die exhausted because they're trying to make black boys extinct. Put 3 strikes on them from the moment they're born, torn between wanting to win the game and needing to win. Learning they have access, but the chances of making it are slim. Black boys and girls don't want to be lost in the world wearing yellow tinted glasses. The 1619 Project should be invisible, man. Our history has been whitewashed enough. It's past time to acknowledge it. Our ancestors were on the Underground Railroad. Today we're taking over boardrooms, but don't assume the suit's off, because depending on the day, you can get homegirls and hand grenades. There's an elephant rage, begging to be released. Someone who speaks too loud, someone who shines too bright, someone who can lead them their care, because 90 minutes can't all be direct instruction, but a cooperative, even a competitive environment for growth. teach them to see that conformity is just another box to restrict your identity. Someone who will break our wallless classrooms, reality 101, stripping those yellow pens to offer clear frames, to finally give wisdom to succeed in failure, understanding and failing to succeed, so they can realize that the souls of black folks are resilient. The color purple carries us. We are beloved, transcendent kingdom, inhabiting kindred spirits. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. 1 month can't hold our history. It's just all the world will allow. Do something with the gift inside of you. There's no better time to start than now.
How about that? Wow. I love it when that happens. Wow, thank you, Nicole. So great to be able to do that and get a chance to accompany a poet doing their work. You know, I think the first time I ever did something like that, I was as a matter of fact, I was on television. I was doing a television show, and I was reading my original poetry. It was the first time that this has happened that way with music in the state of Mississippi. And I used the Dvorak's New World Symphony, which happens to be my favorite piece of music. I just happened to find it in a basket on the floor. But as it turns out, it was such a hit that I was remembered for that, and ultimately this is how I got my first job in television as a television news reporter. They see me on television reading my poetry. All right, I tell you what. Did any of you get a chance to? I don't know whether I guess Amy may have told you about it. Did any of you get a chance to watch my YouTube video? Anybody see that? Doesn't matter. Okay. There is, if you go to YouTube, John Wesley live concert, you'll get a chance to see some of my music there. And some of the songs that I will play today, that's going to be on my next CD, is on YouTube at John Wesley live concert. Let me also say good morning and hello to all of my friends on Facebook. And I'm going to give a shout out to my boss, Dana Peterson Moore, at the Office of Equity and Civil Rights. I want to give a shout out also to my colleague, Ms. Tiffany Jones, who had actually prepared a multimedia presentation for you that I mentioned. However, we could not get the technology to work on that, so I apologize to Tiffany, but I did want to mention her name, and I will put it online soon. All right, in the meantime, let's do some music. Here is a piece of music that is simply called, I think I'll do a little piece of music called Deja Vu. blaze of glory. Ah, well, get me on. Seems like some kind of deja vu. Oh, well, seems like I've been through this before. Ah, well, and you can hear my dream and my scream. I hope you get what I mean. And you can hear my dream and my scream. I hope you get what I mean. Here go now. And you hear my dream and my scream. I hope you get what I mean. And you can hear my dream and my scream. I hope you get what I mean. And you can hear my dream and my scream. Thank you. Thank you. You know, when I was growing up, my granddad used to call me over sometime and tell me he wanted to talk to me, and he always had a walk up, you know, and I could never tell. I could never tell what was going to be tougher, the walk up or the message he was going to give me. But he used to tell me, and he would have a walk up, and it said, ain't nobody going to tell you this but me. Ain't nobody gonna tell you this but me. Ain't nobody gonna tell you this but me. Ain't nobody gonna tell you this but me. Boy, listen up. Listen up. Now in hiding mind is the devil's workshop. Only when you're digging a hole do you start at the top. Do unto others as you have them do to you. Remember what the Bible said, and to your own self be true. Ain't nobody gonna tell you. Yeah, you can clap your hands. Nobody gonna tell you. Ain't nobody gonna tell you. Ain't nobody gonna tell you. Don't you gain the world and lose your soul. Everything that glitters ain't gold now, girl. I know a rolling stone gave us no mark. Everything for sale, ain't worth the cost. Ain't nobody gonna tell you. Ain't nobody gonna tell you. Ain't nobody gonna tell you. Ain't nobody gonna tell you that you need more boys. Bunch of listen up. They don't know you. They don't see you. Like I see you. They don't love you. Like I love you. Ain't nobody gonna tell you. Ain't nobody gonna tell you. Ain't nobody but me. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. You're a great audience. I'm watching my time. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. I guess, yeah, the pictures, as you watch the pictures, and we're going to take, I'll tell you what, at exactly, in 5 minutes, we're going to stop because I want to get some questions from you. As a matter of fact, while I start, any questions that any of you have, any comments you want to make while we're doing it? Anybody?
Okay, how did you get so good at singing?
Beg pardon?
How did you get so good at singing?
I can't. Can you?
How did you get so good at singing?
Bless your heart. I started in my grandmother's front room on a little rickety piano. And it's funny. In my, what's your name? What's his name?
Hanvar.
Huh?
Hanvar.
Anma. Okay, Anma, it was so interesting. So let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what really got me excited about what I'm doing for you today. And this is part of my prayer this morning. Okay, so one day, when I was going to school, well, anyway, that was the Cuban Missile Crisis, you know, and there were Cuban missiles being put in, Russian missiles being put in Cuba. So we would go to the gym, okay? So when we got to the gym, one day I'm in the gym and all the students in there, and there's a piano on the stage and the curtain is closed. And I go in there and I do something like that. And people recognize that as a part of Smokey Robinson. You really got a hold on it. And people started saying, "Who is playing that? Who is playing that?" And they came running up to the stage. And the girls liked it too. I went, "Yeah. Okay." So I wouldn't learn the whole song. so that gives but then after that, I did get a vocal music scholarship. And how did I train my voice? I had a record player, and we had Johnny Mathis albums. And I learned to sing Johnny Mathis songs the way he sung them, breathing when he breathed, etc. And then when I signed up to go to Job Corps, the music director from Tougaloo College had heard me sing, and the head of the political science department had heard me in a high school debate group. And the guy from the doctor in political science said, we're going to give you an audition. And if you pass this audition, we will give you a full vocal music scholarship, and you can major in whatever you want to major in. Okay? So I went to Tougaloo, and I actually auditioned singing a cappella, because my high school teacher did not want me to go to Tougaloo. He wanted me to go to Jackson State. So anyway, I auditioned singing a cappella, and I got a full scholarship, vocal music scholarship, and the rest is history. So thank you for that question. Anybody else have a question like that? That's the lady with the white sweater back there too. Take your time.
I want to ask if anybody inspired your style of music.
Beg pardon?
Anybody inspire your style of music?
Oh, yes. Oh, I must be at Oakland Mills High School. Great question. As a matter of fact, you will hear in my music, okay, let me just do a quick education. When you hear strings like that, that is right out of the design of the music that came out of Tom Bell and then the Creed. So when you hear people like the stylistics, you hear people with a lot of melody and a lot of strings behind them, that's where I got that from. When I was singing, Ain't Nobody Gonna Tell You This But Me, and I said, they don't love you the way I love you. That is right out of Curtis Mayfield's design book. Okay? When you hear the lyrical content, all of my songs celebrate women. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do one right now for you that celebrates women. Okay? But all of my music celebrates women. I was raised by my grandmother in the country, my grandmother and my grandfather. We were sharecroppers. So when you see these pictures of, I lived in Mississippi. I didn't go visit. But anyway, so yes. The people of old, the people who influenced me, Curtis Mayfield, Sam Cooke, Isaac Hayes, and people now, Prince, Michael Jackson. As a matter of fact, the guy who taught me to play keyboards, Isaiah Sanders, he's done Songs in the Key of Life and all of that stuff by Stevie. The guy who taught me to play keyboards went on to play with Stevie for 10 years and with Michael for 13 years. Okay, so that's how I learned to play. I tell you what, I'm going to do, if I can get this microphone, I'm going to do, before our time goes out, I want to do a song that celebrates women's voice, and then, go on.
10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes? Okay, you do that. Okay, I'm going to do the song first, and maybe we can get another question. Now you're a queen, that's for sure. No matter how much you give, we always want more. You're a gentle spirit, always searching for the truth. God is good, you're the proof, so won't you teach me, lady? How'd you learn to love like that? Won't you teach me, lady? How'd you learn to love like that? How'd you learn to love like that? I'll tell the girl. How'd you learn to love like that? How do you hold your tongue and speak your mind? Love me like I'm telling the truth when you know that I'm lying. Treat me like a man when I'm acting like a child. Face the same mean world every day and you wear a smile. I'll tell the girl how you do it and wear a smile. So won't you teach me, lady? Won't you teach me, lady? Won't you teach me, lady? How'd you learn to love like that? 'Cause I seen you love your enemies, forgive your friends, and even when they do you wrong, you're the first one to make amends. If everybody that you know expecting nothing in return, tell me how you do it. Is it something a man like me can learn? Something a man like me can learn. So won't you teach me, lady? Won't you teach me, lady? Won't you teach me, lady? How'd you learn to love like that? So won't you teach me, lady? Won't you teach me, lady? Won't you teach me, lady? How to learn to love like that? Won't you teach me, lady? Won't you teach me, lady? How'd you learn to love like that? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Questions? Anyone? I can't hear.
Where would you say is the coolest place you've performed?
Beg pardon? The coolest place
The
I performed?
coolest place you've ever performed.
Meriwether Post Pavilion. And you, okay? And I tell you what, before we gotta go, I gotta play my Columbia song for you, okay? That was the greatest. Can I do a little?
We
How many
have
minutes we
4
got?
minutes with one other question tonight.
Okay.
Kayla, you said question?
Let me right quick. How many minutes we got? can't hear you.
Your music is very peaceful and soothing. I like it a lot. It's really nice. And then also, what was the process of writing your book like?
Okay, I'll have to talk to you offline, but I'll tell you about that. It's a gut-wrenching process. But the secret is this: write short stories first, put them together, and make a book. Okay, and write your first stories about your own family, your aunt, your mom, your dad, somebody you know. Write about something you know. Do it in short stories, maybe 3 or 4 pages. Do about 15 or 20 of those, and you got a book. Don't try to write a whole book the first time if you've never done it before, because your mind will tell you that you can't do it. Okay? I got to do a little of this song, Columbia song, even as you go out. Okay. Hold on a second. Got to get the band together here. Some nights it feels like being the moon. Some nights it feels like morning can't come too soon. Some nights it feels like just me and the moon. And morning can't come too soon. Go dancing under the peepal tree. I go dancing all by myself under the peepal tree. If you hear any noise about 3, it's just the moon in me. Just the moon in me.
Let's give a warm round of applause to John Wesley. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. We hope that this inspires you to follow your dreams. Even if you don't have formal training, you might have friends who can help. You start with one song, maybe in one chord, and you build from there, and you build a legacy. We're going to be exiting out the back door, so folks who are sitting in the back, you can go ahead. All the exits are marked bright red. You'll end up by the gymnasium. Have a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. Back door, we have folks coming in the side doors, back doors, please.
So we're going to do the same thing. You was beautiful, man. We all do. But Facebook. I got on YouTube and Facebook. Oh, okay. Now. Yep. Yeah, I got it running on both. Okay. Matter of fact, I see the chat.
Nice. Somebody's watching. He said nice.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely watching. Watch what I have to say. Yeah, looks good on the show.
I got mine too.
No, this stuff is good. Unless you phone in the car.
I really enjoyed your music.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Oh.
Yeah. Don't, my door is locked, so thank you guys, thank you guys.
Oh, good. Okay.
Is the second group
Hey,
fun loving?
Everybody in this building is fun loving. We're gonna have a great time.
They loved it, okay.
They did. They did.
First row, and it's row 10 and 9 and 10. Here, first section. This more is right behind. Start with this more of aisle 5, row 5. This more is row 5. More. Or you are a lot of people. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7. And more here. Follow them. Who's your teacher? Beltry is right here, 9 and 10, first section. So don't stand, so, hi, you're here, you made it. Are you behind? Yeah. So just go sit in the back section, they're not on. And Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ms. Brooks. I teach English 9 and 10 here. I've taught many of you, and I'm really happy that you're joining us today on Friday, one of our first Scorpion speaker series in a while, thanks to Omicron. But we are allowed to gather again. You're going to notice some of our presenters are going to take off their masks because we're allowed to have performers take off their masks while they're actually performing. And you're also going to notice we have some cameras around. It's going to be live streamed, and there's also some other footage. You won't be in it, so don't worry about that. One of the things I want to go over is whenever we have a Scorpion Speaker Series guest, we always want to be good hosts, and one of the best ways to do that is by showing respect. If you show your respect with your attentiveness, sometimes that's clapping, sometimes it's laughing when it's funny, but you're going to miss out on all that if you don't disengage with your phone. So I'm going to invite you to take a break, to sit back and relax. As the last group said, it's very peaceful and soothing was the word they used. So take out your AirPods, turn off your phones, and just enjoy a little break from the normal routine before we head into the weekend. I want to tell you a little bit about John Mosley, but I first want to remind you that all of our guests are local. The Scorpion Speaker Series was started a few years ago to connect our community members with you, because we have the mantra that you don't have to look far to find excellence in Oakland Mills. In fact, he lives right down the street, even though he grew up in Mississippi and lived through a lot of very historic moments that you've learned about in your history classes during the Civil Rights Movement. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about him. You can learn more about him by doing your own research. But without further ado, let's hear a little bit about our special guest today. I have way too many things in my pocket. John Mosley is a 1970 graduate from Toulouse College, a singer-songwriter and a published author, both in poetry and prose. His work has appeared in 9 English, Arabic, and Spanish anthologies. He began his writing career in his native Mississippi under the tutelage of Dr. Naomi Townsend at Toulouse and Dr. Margaret Walker Alexander. She mentored him, she's the author of Jubilee, and also poets like Audre Lorde, Ted Jones, author John Oliver Killens, and Dr. Jerry Ward. He is a composer, and all of his music is original. He's also the godson of civil rights activist Annie Lou Hamer. She and Wesley's grandmother, Sarah Sanders, worked in the same wealthy Jewish family's home. Sanders was the nanny, and Hamer was the cook. He moved to Jackson, Mississippi on June 12, 1963, and that's when Medgar Evers, a family friend, was murdered in his driveway. Wesley would later graduate from Jim Hill High School and attend Toulouse College on a full local music scholarship. While a Toulouse student, Wesley, encouraged by his college advisor, Dr. Naomi